Good morning, afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is the Racing Statistics channel. And this is free practice one for Monaco. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the crown jewel weekend of motorsports racing. Yes, we've got Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. We also get Indianapolis 500. I will probably go over if there's things, light action going on. I'll talk about Indy. There's a lot going on over in Indianapolis this weekend. Happened last weekend and through Sunday as well. Crazy things happened last Sunday, and there's been a lot going on. Fallout from Sunday, quite honest. Off track, on track as well. So, but let's see if the people are here. Is Callum Island an American? No, he's British. He's not American. No, he's not. He's not. I don't. As far as I can tell, he's not American. United States needs to win more champion titles than the UK. I want Germany, United States, France to win more championship titles than have Formula One. This is an interesting discussion you guys are at the moment. They talked about Herta. So this is about Herta potentially going to Cadillac. Um, it's early to make that determination. Again, also Herta's over here in the United States. He's doing the Indianapolis 500. Yeah, the Cadillac talking to people here in the United States. That's going to pick up dramatically after this weekend because the Indianapolis 500. For all these IndyCar drivers right now, like Herta, it's about the Indy 500. There's no time really right now to be talking. I mean, there's time in between the scenes, but officially, there's really no real big time to talk about next year. That it's all focused on this race at the moment. New poll: which team will take pole in Monaco? We've got McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Team Verstappen. Uh, that's a good question. That's a question. Who's going to take pole? I think it's McLaren. I know McLaren will do well this weekend, but I don't know if it's going to be McLaren on pole. Ferrari is an easy choice because it's Charles Leclerc. He's the local boy. He won last year, and that was a big deal because the Monegas won the Monegas race. Franz will take pole. Yes, Franz Herman will take pole. For those who don't know, Franz Herman is the assumed name that Max Verstappen um, registered under. There's a video from Super GP. He actually joined in his race. He was like, "What the heck is going on?" His video is basically, "What the heck is going on? Max Verstappen's here. I'm racing against him." Um, and then it's Mercedes. Mm, I'll pick Team Verstappen. See what happens. So 33% think is 33% right now think it will be McLaren. 36% Verstappen. 26% in Ferrari and 6% Mercedes. Whether that's Russell or Antonelli. We're about 40 seconds away before a green light. Got people in their cars. They're in the garage at the moment. You've got people lined up. Um, and that looks like one of the racing bulls. Nope, that unless I'm looking a little far back. There's two Haas's are out, so those will be interesting. Okay, and there is a line on pit row now. I can see the tires this week. These weekend we're again using the C4, C5s, and C6. Did someone? I may have trailed off as I look for something. Again, right now, waiting for that green light. Practice one. has started, and Lawson and Isaac are going to be the first two out. Hulkenberg next, followed by Mirman and Ocon, Norris, and Oscar. So those are the first seven out. Yeah, please don't predict crashes. Yeah, that's gross to predict someone is going to crash. Now, predict someone, one of the team members not as good. Yeah, don't predict crashes. You can predict in general someone might crash, and that's okay because that's so generic, not being specific. But to say someone specifically is gonna bin it, first of all, this is not Team Marduk. Oops, oops. No, I love that. It's actually part of the reason why I'm in F1 the way I am now. What if I predicted you commentating we will get five crashes this weekend? No, that's basically saying that we're going to get five red flags, is what you're saying. Um, that's pretty much what you're saying at this moment. In video games, I'm always first out on track. I never know why the real teams wait. Uh, Traffic is one reason. They may not be waiting. Oh, we've got who's this one? That's Charles off the track. Yeah, so one of the things you'll see a lot is that there are a lot of runoff spots. So here we just saw Charles just run off the track and then come back on, and that will bring out a yellow flag. Replay of Charles going off track, and he locks up and he just can't make the turn, so he goes straight. So that's something we will see a lot of cars going off these runoff areas and then come back on. Calum's going to steal this sprint. This is not a sprint weekend. Monaco's sprint weekend would probably be interesting. Monaco's sprint weekend would actually pretty cool. What tires the Red Bulls are on? Hards. So Oscar's setting a time 116.954 early. Sonoda P2 118. Gonna wait a little bit longer before I start looking at the board. Let time settle in. Max comes in at 117.492. This is a track where your comfortability grows as you go through the weekend. So you don't want to be at the bottom of the board, but you don't want to be overconfident and hit the wall. I mean, it would give us it would give us the reason for why sprint would be is that we only get one practice session. You would get qualification like later today, and then a sprint tomorrow, and then another qualification. So we reduce the amount of practice they would have on this track if we went in that direction. And for some people, that would be interesting. Again, the point here taken is that I'll concede is that Monaco's not good for overtaking, so the sprint race would be boring, basically, in that regards. Last time I played this track in an F1 game, I pinball bounced the tunnel. Oh boy. Screech yelling to us to chill out. This is just practice. This is only to collect. I mean, it's only practice. We're talking about practice here. Practice, practice, practice. Excuse me. This is only to collect data, tire wear, and tire stints, lap time. No, there's more going on here than just what you're saying. It is really for the drivers to get comfortable and get a feel for the track. Um, we've got Alonso going P1, Stroll going P2. Bierman was P4. He's now P7 at the moment. Clerk going top of the board, 115.259. Um, with Monaco, you want to get Norris going to the top of the board, 114.989. Yeah, you want to go to the top of the board. Max going 114.731. Yeah, yellow flag. Who is off track? Hamilton going to the top of the board. Oscar went 3. Norris 4th. Yellow flag. What's up? Who went off the track? I'm trying to figure out. Because that yellow flag has been resolved back to a green. Another yellow flag through turn 7. Why though? Front wing damage? Oh, is it debris on track? Did he hit the wall? Oh yeah, that wing is broken. Oh, he broke the wing. Oh, half of his wing is bent, the other half wing is gone. He's decayed as he can. So watching Charles Leclerc, looks like he must have hit the wall. How? So doing a wing change in Leclerc. Taking a while to get that wing off. Yeah, that's jammed in at the moment. Oh, there was a collision with Stroll. Okay. Oh, what was Stroll doing? Wasn't aware about the blue flags. Nope. Nope. Yeah, so Stroll pulled out in front of Leclerc. Yeah, Stroll says and Leclerc is there. I just felt Leclerc crash into him. Red flag. Ooh. I think there's probably debris on the track that they have to clean up. Yeah, there's a lot of debris on track. Yeah, so there's debris. So this red flag is brought to you by Aston Martin because Stroll pulled out in front of Leclerc and he crashed his wing into him, and there's debris on track. So this is why there's a red flag. It's enough debris that would cause punctures. That's a lot of debris. Oh, that's bad. Why do the Stroll? Daddy owns the team. Wow, you guys are gonna go after him. Those cars are damaged. We know that Charles Leclerc front wing was damaged. Yeah, it's only been 10 minutes of the session. We have a red flag. No, not for Stroll. It's from Charles's front wing, most likely. We don't know if there's any damage on the back end of Stroll's car. So this is the Race Statistics channel. I want to thank those who are here on YouTube. I want to thank those who are in Twitch. If you guys know anyone who's looking to sponsor red flags on this channel, we're all ears at this point. And like and subscribe. If you hit the bell on YouTube, you'll get notifications when we go live. Those of you who are on Twitch, and you don't have to, you will get those notifications if you're on Twitch already. Why red flag? Because Charles crashed into the back of Leclerc when he pulled out in front of him. And broke his wing, and that brought out this debris on track that they have to clear up. Race control is looking. Oh, oh, no, no, no. Don't go away on me. Yeah, so they're going to investigate the incident between Stroll and Leclerc at the end of the session. So, why a red flag? We are in a red flag scenario because they need to clear the track of debris after Charles crashed into the back of Stroll. This is kind of it. You look at it. I don't know if they're going to give. They might rule it as an incident and not give anyone a penalty. They might put that on Stroll's fault. It's one of those. It's hard to read because it's Monaco and it's so tight. Nui checking out Alonso. Yeah, Nui is actually here and so session will start in about a minute or so. We got a 13:44 local time resume message. Tribals can get penalty in yes, they can get penalties in free practice. Which is instant actually means in F1 terms something happened. Something happened. Stroll, yeah, they could get it. There's a potential for a penalty here. We're under a minute to restart. They're very lined up. I can see an Alpine. I can see a Racing Bull. I can see. I think it's a stake car. So yeah, 46 minutes to go and 20 seconds to go in this session. You've already had a red flag. Go figure. Who crashed? Leclerc crashed into the back of Stroll because Stroll pulled out in front of him. That's all I could tell you. Matt, that's not Yuki coming out. No, Clark is fine. He got back. He got back to the pits, and they replaced his wing. So here we go. We've got Russell Antonelli, Science, Oscar Gasly. That's the Alpine. Here comes the Lawson, Watchalong. Charles. No, he got back to the pit lane. So Charles will be back. He'll be back on grid at some point. I think this is Gasly was on 2 laps. I think Gasly was the only one who has not set a time of any sort, but I think that's because he was on track for that red flag. Yeah, who crashed with who? It was Leclerc into the back of Stroll. Stroll pulled out. They were going around the hairpin. I believe that was around. I believe it was around turn 18. It was either that or it was um. It's in the declining section of the track, and you have to apologize for my lack of not knowing exactly where. Oh, it could have been. Yeah, it was. I think it was around turn 6, that hairpin turn. Turn 7, 5, 6, 7, that hairpin turn. And so Stroll pulled out in front of Leclerc. Leclerc had no place to go but into the back of Stroll. There's really something about Leclerc and Monaco. They really get along. Yeah, but he won last year. Like, you guys are like, oh, Monaco curse. Like, what curse? The curse went away last year. Curse doesn't exist, guys. Leclerc won. Yeah, Leclerc's back on track. I mean, he basically needed a nose change. It took a moment for him to get that nose change. Also going P2 on track. Hamilton is P1 right now, 114.576. Russell is a 114.655. Max did a 114.731. Oscar did a 114.742. Sainz did a 115.401. Oscar just improved to P1, a 113.821. He's on a soft tire. Yeah, this is going to get interesting. So the soft tire is the C6 we saw over in Imola. And this is the track where that C6 is really going to be probably best suited for it. It basically in normal uses, that C6 basically was basically wearing out too fast. But this track is half the size of most other tracks. It's smaller. I mean, this is the definitely. They said some potential floor damage to Carl's Road. Yeah, with all the stuff going underneath, there's potential for floor damage. They won't replace the floor. It looks like they're not going to worry about the floor until uh, they'll look at that after the session. If they have to replace it, they'll replace it then. Oh yeah, no, you don't need to stay here. Norris is at the top of the board, 113.615. It's two tenths difference between him and his teammate. Then it's a almost second difference from P2 to P3. So that's a big jump. Yeah. So again, one of the big things is that with F1 itself, we're looking at next weekend is so we're in the middle of a triple header. So Imola, Monaco now this weekend, and next weekend will be Spain. Things are going to change with Spain with the wings. We're not going to. And why not here in Monaco? Because I mean, it could have done it here in Monaco, but Monaco is own beast. I mean, they're using different wings here in Monaco, anyways. And you're not going to get Monaco's not fast enough to get that issues with the wings of it flexing. It's not going to get it here in Monaco. So Spain is where that rule is going to come into place. So we're at the end of a stint of one set of rules that are going to be in place this season, going into a new set of rules essentially that are going to be in place for the next. So I mean, right now we're looking at, uh, McLaren doing extremely well right now. Sainz just jumped up to P5 114.336, and then Hamilton did 114.062. Oscar takes P1 from his teammates. He does 3 tenths faster in his last lap. 113.508. So he's a tenth faster than his teammate, though Norris is on a good lap right now. Norris is going to take that back. Oh wow, he smashes his teammate. So Max improves by like a whole half second on his lap time. He does a 113.036. Fastest first sector, improves in sector 2. Doesn't improve in sector 3, but that's a very good sector 3. I mean, that's a 19.39. I mean, Leclerc just did a 19.5 in that sector. Hulkenberg did a 19.5, and they're improving on their times. So that should give you an indication. Gasly did 19.6. They're improving on their lap times, and Norris did a 19.3, and he didn't improve on his lap time. Car. What you guys at the moment. Take a look over at Twitch. Again, we've got about a dozen of you over at Twitch at the moment. Glad you guys, not much you guys. I want to thank you guys over at Twitch. So yeah, we got McLaren. So again, we got 37 minutes, 38 under 30 minutes now. McLaren's at the top of the board. We've got Leclerc, we've got Verstappen, we got Alonso in that mix, we got Hamilton mix, Russell mix, Gasly mix, Sainz, Tsunoda. None of the rookies. Hulkenberg is 11, Antonelli is 12th, Isaac is 13, Borrell is 14. So there's 3 of our rookies. Bierman is 18th, Lawson is 19th, and Colapino is 20th. So they're bunched up in 2 groups of 3, and none of them are in the top 10. And that's, for Monaco, that's to be expected. Max just jumped to P2 on 113.472. Yeah. The gap is much bigger. Hamilton just jumped to P2, 113.471, 113.4101. Albon just jumps to P10. Now, it's interesting to note Oscar just jumped to P1. He's 5 thousandths faster than his teammate. 113.031 versus 113.036. And Norris just he did not improve sector 1, sector 2, but improved sector 2, sector 3. He did a 19.2 in that sector. Clark has the fastest first sector right now. Stroll is in the pit. He's only done 4 laps. It looks like there's more damage on the back of the end of the car. The poll is so even. Oh, take a look at 1,800 votes so far. Wow, it is even. We got 34% McLaren, 35% Team Verstappen, 26% on Ferrari, and 5% on Mercedes. That is a very tight poll. And that's where we're going to take that poll. So 34 Verstappen, 34% McLaren, 25% Ferrari, and 4% on Mercedes. That's with 1,800 votes. That's interesting. Is Hamilton back? I mean, this is a track that benefits Ferrari. I mean, this is a track where everyone can be, if you're a good driver. I mean, Hulkenberg is P6 right now in a stake. That horrible Sauber car that's going to be Audi next year. I mean, Alonso's 7th, Russell's 9th. I mean, I mean, this is a track that's more about the driver than it is about the car because it's such a low. I mean, when we're talking about low speed corners, I mean this is the slowest they go at any time anywhere in the entire season. Olkenberg by the sage. Our reference back to Danny Rick. Oh boy, showing a replay of Norris. I think he just may have tipped so close to the barrier. Yeah, I mean, this is saying this track is wild. Yeah, I mean, it suits Ferrari because it's ever it because it suits Ferrari because their drivers are really good. Hamilton with fastest first sector, moved in the second sector. He's about to come to the end of that. He's come to the end. He's going to go P1, 112.846. He's the first one into. I think he's the first one into the 112 range actually. He's 185 thousandths faster than Oscar's time. Oscar right now in the pit, just as to be expected. Norris did a 112.290. Now Hamilton did his lap time on a medium tire, and Norris has done his on a soft tire. Fastest second and third sector. So where we were seeing 119s, we're now seeing a 118 in that third sector. 118.3. Yeah, Norris just gradually dumped a half second on Lewis. I mean, the McLarens have been dumping half seconds on each other and everyone else. So we got Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Oscar, Verstappen in that order right now. Max is on a hard tire. That's a C4 tire, everyone. He's 1.1 off the pace on a hard tire. So that's a. Who is Franz Herman and why is everyone talking about Franz Herman? Franz Herman is awesome. Franz Herman is the alter ego of Max Verstappen. 2 weeks in to go, he went to the urban ring to support another driver, and he signed up as Franz Herman and not under his name. And next thing you know, people at the track are like, "What the heck? Max Verstappen is here. He's driving around this weekend." Um, yeah, there's actually a video from Super GT where basically he's like freaking out because he just realizes, "What the hell? Max Verstappen is here." He realized he goes like, okay, who this is? He realizes that Franz Herman is Max Verstappen. So yeah, that's definitely I gotta drop that into media if it's not already there already. Ganesh, you got your tires wrong again. The soft tire red is the C6 compound is the fastest. The medium tire is yellow. That's the C5 compound that we normally have seen as a soft. And then the slowest is the hards, which is gray or white in this case. It's not gray; it's a white. It's a white marking. Yeah, some movement on the back end. Isaac just jumped up to P10. Leclerc just moved up to P2, past his teammate. Still four tenths more than 4 tenths behind Norris's time, though he does has the fastest first sector by 2 tenths. Well, the last lap at least. Why did they say Charles had an accident with Stroll? Because there was an accident with Stroll. He literally ran into the back of Stroll. and Stroll is still in the pits since that time. The incident with Leclerc and Stroll will take place after the end of the session. It's a question whether it will even incident involving Barlow and Max noted impeding. Take a look at what Max saw. Ooh, that. Max gross swearing on the radio. Um, and the Red Bull are in black, so we won't see what happened. Anyways, yeah, so that will be noted. Um, we'll see if in a moment or no if they'll investigate. Yeah, again, those who are watching for the first time, if you're looking at the charts, you'll see that they're different. They're we got our times, the gap, the sectors, and then a bunch of bars, S1, Pico, the subsectors essentially. It's involving Bartolo and Verstappen. No further. Looks like there's no further investigation on that. No harm, no foul. Looks like, but basically, we've got the subsectors, and we can see that there are some blue bars. That basically indicated that at the end of sector 3, that means they came to the pit. You can see at the beginning of sector 1 means that they've left the pit. And we'll see that in a moment. There's a lot in the pit right now. You show the tire age. It is possible. We'll have to reformat our chart for that. And right now we're pretty good, well set up. There are other locations, like if you go to F1 TV, F1's website, you go to their live. You can open up another browser window, and you'll be able to get that information if you really need. If you're that curious, there's ways to get that information faster than asking us to show it. So they're jumping up to P7 right now. He's on a hard tire, so 1.2, just behind his teammate. We're seeing a lot of hard tires out there, particularly Max Sonoda, Gasly, Isaac, Behrman, Ocon, Lawson, Colbino, all on hard tires. So there's time to be had with those drivers. We're seeing 5 upwards were on a soft tire when they set their fastest lap. Russell Alonso on a soft tire, Albon, Antonelli, and then Stroll was on a soft tire when he got rammed by Charles. Again, if those who have we're 26 minutes to go in this session. Those who have not arrived, in the first 10 minutes, there was an incident with Charles and Leclerc, and one of the Williams is off track. That's Carlos Sainz now able to back off onto the track. It's a matter of just him getting back moving again. And that's the runoff, I think, at turn 1. Yeah, basically, it's interesting to note that Charles went into rammed the back of Stroll. Yeah, we're replaying Science's. Yeah, he locks. Yeah, Science. So Science's front right tire locks up, and he can't get. He takes too much speed into the corner, and so he goes off track into the catch area before he
rather than crashing into the corner. So we're looking at Leclerc right now, fastest first sector. He's in the full section of Monaco at the moment, heading towards the tunnel. Leclerc improves sector 2 as well, and he improves sector 3. He does a 1:2.964. That's the fastest lap. He's the first of the 111s right now, 111.964, and that's on a soft tire. Norris he's coming out on a medium tire now. So is Oscar. So we may not be seeing the fastest laps.
Yeah, guys, I have a northeast Boston area. My accent is in the northeast. I'm not a full on Boston accent. It's actually um, I'm I have an accent that's from south of Boston, but not New York. Um, you guys have been yelling about me about how I say Calpino. I do say that. I mean, for me, I'm saying the T. It's not. It's a weak T. So you guys are yelling at me about that. Boston. Yeah, no. I don't drop R's. My brother does. We have someone off track and come back on. So yellow flag, and then we've got that's been resolved. Taking a look. Ooh, that's Lando. Yeah, Lando locks up and goes off track. Norris stopped. No, Norris just went off track. He took, like everyone else, they've been locking up their tires at that turn one and go off track, and so he's come back on. Basically got to go back off the. They've got to back out of that area, back onto the track, which is basically bring out the yellow flag. He's okay. You're gonna see a lot of yellow flags come and then go. It means someone has gone into one of those catch areas and come back onto the track safely. Albin just jumped to P5, 112, 118. Science did a 112, 688 for his lap. So we've got Leclerc P1 right now, Norris P2. 3/10 is the gap, 3.2 is the gap. Then we jump to almost 3/4 of a second, 7.2, 7.4 for Science, 7.26 for Hamilton. We're over 8.5 for Albin, and then Oscar's now over a second behind, P6 Leclerc's time. So where we've been like 1.1, we're in Imola, we were like 1.1.2 from P1 to P20. Where P1 to P20 right now is legitimately like 3.6, 3.1 seconds is the top first to last right now. So much wider variance in terms of lap times. Oscar jumping up to P3 right now. He's 0.3, fastest second sector. St. Isaac hit the barriers at 15. Did he bounce out the barriers? I wasn't looking at. I was looking at what you guys were saying and things over here. Um, Isaac, he's made it back to the pits, so that's yeah. So he made it. If he hit the barriers, he made it back to the pits.
We got Alonso going P7, 113.015. And he's over a second, 1 second, 0.051 behind Leclerc's 111 time. Again, notably, Adrian Newey is on site for Aston Martin. He's in the green of Aston Martin. He actually looks good in the green, quite honest. He's overlooking what they're doing with, I believe this is Stroll's car. Yeah, this is Stroll's car. They've taken that car apart after that incident. So they must have suspension in the back must have been really screwed up. Again, in the first 10 minutes we had a red flag that put Leclerc ran into the back of Stroll after Stroll pulled out in front of him. And this was around turn 6-7, that hairpin going down the incline. Albon is now fourth, 112.571. 0.6 off. We got a yellow flag. Lawson, it's in. Looking at why we have a yellow flag. The commentators don't know sure why. It's reserved to a green flag. Yeah, they haven't shown why the yellow flag came out yet on TV. But it has been resolved back to green, so we're good to go. Going along right now with Alonso. He's currently P7. Sainz is on a lap as well. He's currently P5. Sainz, Alonso about to finish. Alonso improves in his time, but not at his position. Still behind Hamilton. Comes Sainz. Clerk and Sainz. Clerk is on a cooldown lap. He's looking like he's going to take off. Sainz just moved up to fourth, 112.546. Isaac jumping up to P9, one of the first rookie to jump into the P10s this session. Does the 113.406. That's still 1.4 off the pace. But he's on a medium tire. Charles just is on a soft tire. Well, he was on a soft tire when he said it. Replay of Hamilton. Does he? Hamilton comes up on traffic, and it's not just one; it was two cars that was slow. Doesn't look like he's going to get an impeding call at the moment. But that definitely not letting that ruins Hamilton's traffic. Beerman jumping to P9 with a 113.329. Again, on a soft tire, he's 1.3 behind. Excuse me, everyone. A lot of pollen in my area right now. Been choking on it. Gasly just goes up to 10, 113.4, 1.4 gap on, again, soft tires. The only two who are not on soft tires right now are Norris and Oscar. Well, again, Isaac, Lawson, and Bordello are on medium tires, but he's in the pits. Oscar coming out, we don't know what tire yet. Leclerc just said his front left is gone. They're pulling him into the garage right now. So with 14 minutes to go, they might do some tinker with the car and send him out for a small program. JC, did I miss anything important? Yeah, Charles Leclerc rammed into the back of Stroll after Stroll pulled out in front of him. It's been noted by the stewards. Ooh, Verstappen got a little bit of wiggle going around the curve there. He's on a flying lap right now. Proved in his first sector, he's on soft tires. He's got a lot of traffic to deal with. Max is going through the tunnel right now. So ultimately, Clerk hit Stroll. That was just a front wing change. That brought out the red flag because there was debris on track that needed to be cleared up. If that wasn't cleared up, that would have caused punctures. Max coming in of Sector 2 right now. And Norris just jumped to P2. Weird. It looks like they've... Hamilton dealing with traffic in the tunnel. He ends up cutting the chicane. Yeah, he locks up and cuts the chicane. Norris is cutting the chicane. We're getting some replays of people cutting the chicane. Got a picture of Ferrari fan with it looks like his girlfriend sitting on an incline. Max right now in the end of Sector 2. He's improved in both his sectors. Right now P14, but that's... He's going to jump to P6. He's 6.41 off of Leclerc's time. So that's interesting. Right now we've got Sainz and Albon ahead of Max. We've got 11 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this session. Right now, again, we've got Leclerc at the top of the board. He's currently in the pits. Norris is also in the pits. You have Oscar out on track. Sainz and Albon are on track. So is Max, Hamilton, Russell. Alonso's in the pits. Gasly's on track, and Hulkenberg is on track. Tsunoda come on out lap now. Bierman's in the pits right now. We've got Isaac, Antonelli, Lost, Colpino, Ocon, Bordello on track, and then we've got Troll, who's been again had an incident with Leclerc in the first 10 minutes. Debris from Leclerc's wing. Basically, one side of his wing was bent to all heck, and the other was broken completely. And that brought out the red flag in the first 10 minutes. There's a lot. Yeah, Lewis can't. Lewis has got a lot. There's a lot of traffic, so it's going to get harder and harder to get those clean laps in at the moment. Track make an awesome go-kart track. No, I called him Stroll, not Troll. Though that you could call him that would be funny. right now. Max is on a fast lap. Hamilton is in the pit. Russell coming to the line. He's going to jump to P4. He's 5/10 behind, so a half a second behind Leclerc. Leclerc dominating right now with a 3/10 faster, 3.26 faster than Norris. He's on an outlap. We don't know what tire just yet. That has been posted. Could be a soft, but that's what he was on last. So it is a used soft. That's updated. Max going P2, 120, 112, 250, 2.86 behind Leclerc. Albon goes P4, 3.5 faster than behind Leclerc. Borel goes up to 17, 1.7. Ocon goes 16th, 1.6 behind Leclerc. So P1 through P9 is 0.763. Then we get to Gasly P10, who's 1.077. So that's where the 1 second mark hits. It's at P10 right now. Antonelli is 11. He's 1.1. Hulkenberg's 1.2. That's where we were with Imola last weekend with P1, P20. So it's interesting that we're going from P1 to P19 with a 1.8 gap, almost 3/4 of a second. Look right now does not improve sector 1, but it's an okay. It's not a great sector 1. We've got 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this session. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel. I think those are here on YouTube chat. Those are on Twitch. If you don't like and subscribe here on YouTube, now's a great time to do it. If you hit the bell, you will get notifications when we go live. We go live a few, several minutes before each session, so you'll have time to get to wherever you're doing, clean that up, and get to here. We've got music most of the time, unless the boss is talking, and then I come in about somewhere between 15 to 5 minutes before the beginning of the session. Oh, why does Leclerc go faster with a damaged wing? He doesn't have a damaged wing. That wing was replaced. He is using his second, and the whole nose, that whole nose section has been completely has been replaced. Ira saying Ferrari gave me hopes, but I'm not falling for that bait. No, it's too early. What you can read right now, Leclerc is doing well. If he can be consistently good with, again, the lap time is a 1.9. I mean 1:11.9. If he can be consistently good what he's doing, he's at the top of the board. Like, let's say FP2, he's at the top of the board, and FP3 is top of the board. You can go into qualification knowing he's going to do well. Now, if he comes out and he's like 5th and 10th, and it's like 5/10 off, or a second off in FP3, then you should be worried. Yeah, Leclerc on pole again would be massive. Would be massive. Or those of you guys on Europe, mega. You guys have. Ooh, that was Antonelli. It looks like he's not clean. It almost feels like he's bounced off walls like a pinball. Coming to the end, he's got looks like a Williams in front of him. Antonelli's going to do his P11. His last lap was a 1.4 off the gap from Leclerc. Max improved in sector 1, just by barely. No, he's already. See where does not improve in sector 2. Starts sector 2 badly, and then the other half improves in time. Improves in sector 3. This could be a decent lap. We'll see how this goes. So he improves to his time 112.127, but still not better than Leclerc's time. 0.163 off of his time. Look at what you guys are saying in chat. Again, those of you on YouTube, we're also live on Twitch. We're growing over on Twitch as well. Also, the boss has he rolled this out for the last weekend. We also have a Patreon. So if you're looking to support the channel in more ways, there's a Patreon you can now join. Again, as always, there are several people who are in Discord discussing this live as we speak. Why Stroll only 4 laps? Because he got hit by Leclerc in the first 10 minutes of the session. And that brought out a red flag because there was debris on track that needed to be cleaned. Leclerc just had a nose change, and Stroll has suspension, and it looks like at least suspension. Probably a lot more was destroyed in the back of that car. Let's see right now. Russell on a flying lap right now. Hulkenberg improving and Ocon improving right now. Those are the three stand out. Gasly improving as well. Gasly just improved. He did a 112.669. Here comes Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, not an improvement. Here comes Russell. Russell abandoned at the end of that lap. Anthony moves up 1 place to 11, 112.65. Sonoda is on a cooldown lap. Verstappen, if he started a lap good, but he's abandoned the lap effectively. We've got a minute and 20 left to go. Again, we're about coming to the end of this session right now. For those who are on YouTube, you'll be brought to the FP2 session as well. Those of you who are on Twitch, just stay on the channel. You'll be, when we come back, you'll just go live again. Again, this has been the Race Statistics. We're under 1 minute to go. This is the Race Statistics channel right now. You're watching and listening to. Again, this has been Grash giving you coverage of Free Practice 1. Clerk, top of the board, 111.964. Verstappen, P2, 1.63, and Norris, P3, 3.26. Albon is 4th, Oscar's 5th, Russell 6th. Sainz is 7th, 0.57. Gasly is 0.7 off that mark, 8th. Hamilton is 9th, Alonso 10th. Anthony is the top of rookie right now at 0.8 off of that. Hulkenberg is 12th, and then Isaac is 13th, Noda is 14th. Haas is coming at 15th, 16th, lost to 17th. Burrow 18th, Colapino is 19th. And then Stroll is P20. He got rammed by Leclerc at the beginning of the session. And he only did 4 laps where everyone is doing like 25 and up to 30, 35 at the most. Lawson doing 35, Sainz doing 34 laps. So, yeah, that car was pulled apart and is being repaired. Looks like there's a suspension issue on that car after being rammed by Leclerc. Leclerc P1 in this session right now. Again, this is just pre-practice one. We'll see how things go. Again, this has been Grash. Again, we're going to take off right now. We will be back, I believe, in about... Bring up the calendars quickly. Yeah, 2.5 hours right now. Bartolo's in the catch area. That's why we're going to see a yellow flag on track. So we're waiting for Bartolo just to get back onto track. He's okay. So, no, Sue, we had a red flag in the first 10 seconds. I mean, 10 minutes. Anyways, we will see you in about 2 hours for FP2. This is Grash for the Racing Statistics channel. I will see you in about 2.5 hours. Take care, everyone.